thy precious know of this. Thou told me thou didst hold him in thy hate.
Despise me if I do not. I know my price. I am worth no worse a place. But he, one Michael Cassio, a fellow almost damned in a fair wife, a Florentine that never set a squadron in the field, must Othello's lieutenant be. And I, God bless the mark, his lordship's ancient.
By heaven, I'd rather be his hangman.
Why, there's no remedy. 'Tis the curse of service.
I would not follow him then.
Oh, good Roderigo, content you. In following him, I follow him but to serve my turn upon him. We cannot all be masters, nor all masters cannot be truly followed. In following him, I follow but myself. Heaven is my judge, not I for love and duty, but seeming so. For my peculiar end, I am not what I am.
My full fortune does a thick lips owe if he can carry it thus.
Roderigo, come here. Call up her father, rouse him, plague him with flies.
Awake! What ho, Babancio! Thieves!
Awake, come!
Thieves, look to your house, your doors, your bags!
Awake!
Oh. What is the reason of his terrible summons?
Signor, is all your family within?
Are your doors locked?
Why, wherefore ask you this?
Even now an old black ram is topping your white ewe. Arise, arise, I say. Await the snorting citizens with the bell, or else the devil will make a grandsire of you. Arise, I say.
What, have you lost your wits?
Most reverend Signor, do you know my voice? My name is Roderigo.
The worser, welcome. I have charged thee not to halt about my doors. Honest plainness, thou hast heard me say, my daughter is not for thee.
Patience, good sir. Most brave Babancio, in simple and pure soul, I come to you.
I am one, sir, that comes to tell you your daughter and the law are now making the beast with two backs.
Oh, what profane wretch art thou?
Oh, sound, sir, you are one of those that will not serve God if the devil bid you. Because we come to do you service and you think we are ruffians, you'll have your daughter covered with a Barbary horse. You'll have your nephews neigh to you.
Thou art a villain. This thou shalt answer. I know thee, Roderigo.
Sir, I will answer anything, but I beseech you, straight satisfy yourself. If she be in her chamber, or indeed your house, then let loose upon me the justice of the state for thus deluding you.
Strike on the tinder, fetch me a taper, call up all my people. This accident is not unlike my dream belief if it oppresses me already. Light! I say! Light!
Farewell, for I must leave you. It seems not meet nor wholesome to my purpose to be produced against them all. He's embarked with such loud reason to the Cyprus wars. Another of his fathom they have none to lead their business. In which regard, though I do hate him as I do hell pains, I must show out a flag and sign of love, which is indeed but sign. That you shall surely find him, lead to the sagittary, the raised search, and there will I be with him. So, farewell.
This too true and evil, gone she is, and what's become of my despised time is naught but bitterness. Now, Roderigo, where didst thou see her? Happy pearl, with the Moor, sayest thou? Good father, how didst thou know 'twas she, who she despises me past fault? And what said she to you? Get 4 tapers, raise all my kindred. Are they married, do you think?
Truly, I think they are.
Oh, call up my brother. If only thou had had her. Now, you know where we may apprehend her in the moor?
I think I can discover him, if it please you to get good guard and go along with me.
I pray you, lead on. In every house I'll call. I can command at most. Get weapons ho, and raise some special officers of the night. On, good Roderigo, I'll deserve your pains.
My lieutenant, the goodness of the night upon you.
The Duke does greet you, General, and he requires your post-haste appearance, even on the instant.
What's the matter, think you?
Something from Cyprus, as far as I can divine. 'Tis a business of some heat. You have been hotly called for. When, being not at your lodging to be found, the Duke had sent about several guests to seek you out.
'Tis well I am found by you. I will but spend a word in the house and come with you.
Ancient, what makes he here?
He's married.
To who?
Married to... Come, Captain, will you go?
Have with you.
Here comes another troop to seek you out.
General, be advised it is Brabantio. He comes to bad intent.
Hola, stand there!
Senor, it is the more.
Down with him, thief!
Come, Sir Rodrigo, I am for you.
Sir, you shall command more with years than with your weapons.
Oh, thou foul thief, where hast thou stowed my daughter? Down as thou art, thou hast enchanted her. Thou hast practised on her with foul spells, abused her delicate youth with drugs and minerals, and abused her youth. Lay hold of him. If he do resist, subdue him at his pleasure.
Hold your hands! Both of you of my inclining and the rest. Were it my cue to fight, I should have known it without a prompter. Where will you that I go to answer this your charge?
To prison, till fit time of law and course of direct session bring thee to answer.
How may the Duke be therewith satisfied, whose messengers are here about my side upon some present business of the state to bring me to him?
'Tis true, most worthy Signor. The Duke's in council, and your noble self, I am sure, is sent for.
What? The Duke in council in this time of night? Bring him away. The Duke himself, or any of my fellow brothers of the state, cannot but feel this wrong as 'twere their own.
There is no composition in these news that gives them credit.
Indeed, they are disproportionate. My letters say 107 goats.
Mine 140. Yet, do they all confirm the total fleet and bearing up to Cyprus?
What ho! What ho!
Now, what's the business?
Turkish preparation makes towards Rhodes. And so was a bid reported by the state senator, Signor Angelo. Ottomites, moving with purposes towards Rhodes, have there enjoined with them a fleet of 30 sails. Their purposes towards Cyprus. Signor Montano, your trusty and most valiant servitor in his free duty recommends you thus. And pray see you believe me.
'Tis certain. For Cyprus. Ah, valiant Othello. We must straightway assure you against the general enemy Ottoman.
Oh,
Senor, I did not see you there. We missed your counselling and your help.
And I yours. Good your grace forgive me, but even my place or aught I heard of business have raised me from my bed.
Why, what's the matter?
My daughter,
Dead?
aye, to me. She is stolen from me, corrupted. For nature so preposterously to err, song's witchcraft could not.
Where it be was thus beguiled your daughter of self and you of her, the bloody book of law you shall read yourself to the bitter letter after your own sense. Yea, though our proper son stood in your action.
Humbly, I thank your grace. Here is the man, this Moor, who now it seems our special mandate for state affairs have never brought.
What in your own part can you say to this?
Nothing but this is so.
Most potent, grave, and reverend senors, my very noble and approved good masters, that I have taken away this old man's daughter is most true. True, I have married her. The very head and front of my offending have this extent no more. Rude am I in speech, and little blessed with the soft phrase of peace. And little of this great world can I speak more than pertains to broils and battles, and therefore little shall I grace my cause in speaking for myself. Yet, by your gracious patience, I will a round, unvarnished tale deliver of my whole course of love. What drugs, what charms, what conjuration, and what mighty magic for such proceedings I am charged withal. I won his daughter.
A maiden, never bold, her spirit so still and gentle, but her motion lushed at herself. And she, in spite of years of country, credit, everything, to fall in love with that she feared to look at?
Fellow, speak. Did you by indirect and false causes subdue this young maiden's affection, or came upon it by request and such fair question as soul to soul before?
I do beseech you, send for the lady to the Sagittary, and let her speak of me before her father. If you do find me foul in her report, the trust, the office I do hold of you, not only take away, but let your sentence even fall upon my life.
Fetch Desdemona hither.
Ancient, go thy way, you best know the place. Until she comes, as truly as the heaven I do confess the vices of my blood, so justly to your great ears I will present how I did thrive in this fair lady's love, and she in mine.
Say it, Othello.
Her father loved me, oft invited me, still questioned me the story of my life, from year to year, the battles, sieges, fortunes I have passed. I ran it through, even from my boyish days to the very moment that he bade me tell it, wherein I spake of most disastrous chances, of moving accident by flood and field, of hairbreadth scapes in an imminent deadly breach, of being taken by the insolent foe and sold to slavery. This to hear did Desdemona seriously incline, and with greedy ear devour up my discourse. I did consent, and often did beguile her of her tears when I did speak of some disastrous stroke that my youth had suffered. My story being done, she gave for my pains a world of sighs. She wished she had not heard it, yet she wished that heaven had made her such a man. Upon this hint I spake. She loved me for the dangers I had passed, and I loved her that she did pity me. This is the only witchcraft I have used.
I think this tale would win my daughter too.
Here come the lady. Let her witness it.
I pray you, let her speak. If she confess to be half the wooer, then destruction on my head if my bad blame light on the man. Give her, gentle mistress. You perceive in all this noble company where most you owe obedience.
My noble father, I do perceive here a divided duty. To you I am bound for my life and education. My life and education both do learn me how to respect you. You are the lord of duty. I am hitherto your daughter. But here's my husband. And such a duty that my mother showed to you, preferring you before her father, so much I challenge, I may profess, due to them all. My lord.
God be with you. I have done. I had rather adopt a child than get one. Nor here to give you, with all my heart, that, but which thou hast already, and with all my heart I would keep from thee. My lord, I have done. So please your grace, on to the state affairs.
The Turk, with mighty preparation, makes the races. Othello, the fortitude of the place is best known to you. So for you must now suffer the gloss of your new fortune with a more stubborn and boisterous expedition.
I do undertake these present wars against the Ottomites, and most humbly bend into your state. I crave fit disposition for my wife.
As you please, be it at our father's.
I'll not have it so.
Nor I.
Nor I. I would not there reside, to keep my father in impatient thoughts by being in his eye. Most gracious Duke, to my unfolding lend me your prosperous ear, and let me find a charter in your voice to assist my simpleness.
Well, what would you, Desdemona?
That I did love the more to live with him. If I be left behind, a moth of peace, and he go to the war, the rights for which I love him are bereft me, and I, a heavy interim, shall support by his dear absence. Let me go with him.
Be it as you privately determined, whether staying or going, the affair cries haste, and speed must answer it. You must away tonight.
With all my heart.
At 9 in the morning, here we will meet again. Good night, everyone. Oh, and gentle Signor, if virtue no delight beauty lack, your son-in-law is far more fair than black.
no more if thou hast eyes to see. She has deceived her father, and maybe
My life upon her faith. Iago, prepare the ships for departure. Iago, my Desdemona must I leave to thee. I pray thee, let thy wife attend on her, and bring them after in the best advantage. Come, Desdemona, I have but an hour of love, of worldly matters and direction to spend with thee. We must obey the time.
Iago,
What sayest thou, noble heart?
what will I do, thinkest thou?
Why, go to bed and sleep.
I will incontinently drown myself.
If thou dost, I shall never love thee after. Why, thou silly gentleman.
Is silliness to live when to live is torment? Oh, fair Desdemona, what shall I do? I confess it is my shame to be so fond, yet it is not in my virtue to amend it.
Virtue? A fig. 'Tis in ourselves that we are thus or thus. We have reason to cool our raging motions, our carnal stings, whereof I take this that you call love to be a sept or sign.
But it cannot be.
It is merely a lust of the blood and a permission of the will. Come. Be a man, Drown thyself? Drown cats and blind puppies. I have professed me thy friend, and I confess me knit to thy deserving with cables of perdurable toughness. I could never better stead thee than now. Put money in thy purse. Follow thou these wars, defeat thy favour with an usurped beard. I say, put money in thy purse. It cannot be that Desdemona should long continue her love to the Moor. Put but money in thy purse. These Moors are changeable in their wills. Fill thy purse with money. When she is sated with his body, she will find the error of her choice. She must have change, she must. Therefore, put but money in thy purse. If thou wilt needs damn thyself, do it a more delicate way than drowning. Make all the money thou canst. Thou shalt enjoy her. Therefore make money. A pox of drowning thyself, it is clean out of the way. Seek thou rather to be hanged encompassing thy joy than to be drowned and go without her.
Wilt thou be fast to my hopes if I should depend on the issue?
Thou art sure of me. There are many events in the womb of time which will be delivered. Go, provide thy money. We shall have more of this tomorrow.
Where will we meet in the morning?
At my lodging.
I'll be with thee betimes.
Go to, farewell. Do you hear, Rodrigo?
What say you?
No more drowning, do you hear?
I am chained. I shall go sit on my lap.
Thus do I ever make my fool my purse. For I mine own gay knowledge should profane if I would time Spain with such a snipe. But for my sport and profit. The Moor, and 'tis thought abroad that twixt my sheets he hath done my office. I know not if it be true, but I, for mere suspicion in that kind, will do as if for surety. He holds me well, the better shall my purpose work on him. Now then, let's see. Cassio's a proper man. How to get his place and to plume up my will in double knavery. How? Let's see. After some time, to abuse Othello's ear that Cassio is too familiar with his wife. Cassio hath a person and a smooth disposed to be suspected, framed to make women false. The Moor is of a constant, loving, noble nature. It is engendered. Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.
The wind hath spoke aloud at land, a full of blast ne'er shook our battlements. If that the Turkish fleet be not in sheltered or in bay, they are drowned.
Newsworthy, Montano! Our wars are done! The desperate tempest has so banged the Turks that they're deciding on ports. A noble ship of Venice has seen a grievous wreck and sufferance on the most part of their fleet.
Is this true?
The ship is here put in. Michael Cassio, lieutenant to the warlike Moor, is come on shore. The Moor himself at sea and is in full commission here for Cyprus.
I am glad. 'Tis a worthy governor.
Yet this same Cassio, though he speak of comfort touching the Turkish horse, yet he looks sadly and prays the Moor be safe, for they were parted with foul and violent tempest.
Pray heavens he be, for I have served him, and the man commands like a full soldier. Let's cast at our eyes to the worthy Othello.
Thanks you, the valiant of this warlike isle that so approved the Moor.
Is he well shipped?
His bark is stoutly timbered, his pilot an expert in approved allowance. Therefore, my hopes, not surfeited to death, stand in bold cure.
But, good lieutenant, is your general wife?
Most fortunately, he hath achieved a maid who excels the quirks of blazoning pens, the divine Desdemona.
What is she?
The she that I spake of, our great captain's captain. Behold! The riches of the ship is come on shore. You gentlemen of Cyprus, let her have your knees. Hail to thee, lady.
I thank you, valiant Cassio. What news can you tell me of my lord?
The great contention of the sea and sky is part of our fellowship. He will be shortly. Welcome, mistress. Let it not gall your patience, Iago, that I extend my manners thus. 'Tis my breeding that gives me this bold show of courtesy.
Sir, would she bestow as much of her lips as of her tongue she oft bestows upon me? You'll have enough.
Alas, she has no speech.
If faith too much, I find it still when I have listened to sleep. Married before your ladyship I grant, she puts her tongue a little in her heart, and chides with thinking.
Little cause to say so.
Oh, come. You are pictures out of doors, bells in your parlours, wildcats in your kitchens, saints in your injuries, devils being offended, players in your housewifery, and housewives in your beds.
Fie upon thee, slanderer!
Nay, it is true, or else I am a Turk. You rise to play and go to bed to work.
You should not write my praise.
No, let me not.
What wouldst thou write of me, if thou wert to praise me?
Oh, gentle lady, do not take me to it, for I am nothing if not critical.
Come on to say, how wouldst thou praise me?
Very well, I am about it. If she be fair and wise, fairness and wit, the one's for use, the other useth it.
Oh, well praised. How if she be black and witty?
If she be black and there too have a wit, she'll find a white that shall her blackness fit.
Oh, worse and worse. How if fair and foolish?
She never yet was foolish, that was fair, for even her folly helped her to an end.
These are all fond paradoxes to make fools laugh in the alehouse. What miserable praise hast you for thou that's foul and foolish?
There's none so foul and foolish thereunto, but does foul praise which fair and wise ones do.
Heavy ignorance, thou praises the worst best. But what praise wouldst thou bestow on a deserving woman indeed? One that, in the authority of her merit, did justly put the vouch on very malice itself.
She that was ever fair and never proud, had tongue at will and yet was never loud. She that in her wisdom never was so frail, to change the cod's head for the salmon's tail. She that could think and ne'er disclose her mind, see suitors following, and not look behind. She was a white,
To do what?
to suckle fools and chronicle small beer.
Most lame and impotent conclusion. Do not learn of him, Emilia, though he be thy husband. What sayest you, Cassio? Is he not a most profane and liberal counsellor?
He speaks home, madam. You may relish him more in the soldier than in the scholar.
He takes her by the palm. Aye, well said. Whisper. With as little a web as this, will I ensnare as great a fly as Cassio. But hark! 'Tis the Moor!
'Tis truly so.
My fair warrior!
My dear Othello!
It gives me wonder great as my content to see thee here before me. Oh, my soul's joy! If after every tempest come such calms, may the winds blow till they awaken death. If I were to die now, 'twere now to be most happy, for I fear my soul has her content so absolute that of another comforts it sees an unknown fate.
The heavens forbid but that our love and comfort should increase, even as our days do grow.
Amen to that sweet power. I cannot speak enough of this content. It stops me here, it is too much of joy. And this, and this, and this. The greatest discourse be that e'er our heart shall make.
You are well tuned now, but I'll set down the pegs that make this music as honest as I am.
News, friends. Our wars are done, the Turks are drowned. Hey! Odyssey, Iago. I prithee, go to the bay and disembark my coffins. Bring the master there to the citadel. He's a good one, and his worthiness challenges much respect. Come, Desdemona.
Good one, read Cassio tonight watches on the court of guard. First I must tell you this. Desdemona is directly in love with you.
With Cassio? That is not possible.
Lay thy finger thus, and let thy soul be instructed. Mark me with what violence she first loved the Moor, but for bragging and telling her fantastical lies. And will she still love him for prating? No, let thy discreet heart not think it. Her eye must be fed, and what delight shall she have to look upon the devil? When the blood is made dull with the act of sport, there should be again to inflame it and give satiety a fresh appetite. Loveliness in favour, sympathy in years, manners, and beauties, all which the Moor is defective in. Now, for want of this, these required conveniences, her delicate tenderness will find itself abused. She will begin to heave the gorge, disrelish and abhor the Moor. Very nature will instruct her in it, and compel her to some second choice. Now, sir, is granted, as it is a most pregnant and unforced position. Who stands so eminent in a degree of this fortune as Cassio does? The name is handsome and hath all those requisites in him that folly and green minds look after. A pestilent complete name. And the woman hath found him already.
I cannot believe that in her. She is full of the most blessed condition.
Blessed fits end. The wine she drinks is made of grapes. If she had been blessed, she never would have loved the Moor. Blessed pudding, man. Didst thou not see her paddle with the palm of Cassio's hand? Didst thou not mark that?
I did, but that was but of courtesy.
Lechery by this hand. An index and obscure prologue to the history of lust and foul thoughts. They met so near with their lips, their breaths embraced together. Ominous thoughts, Roderigo. When these mutualities so marshal the way, hard at hand comes the master and main exercise. The corporate conclusion. Ish. But, sir, be you ruled by me. I have brought you from Venice. Watch you tonight for the commander. I'll lay it upon you. Cassio knows you not. I'll be close at hand. Do you find some occasion to anger Cassio, either by speaking too loud, or tainting his discipline, or by what other measure the time shall more favourably minister?
Well,
He is very rash and sudden in choler, and haply may strike at you. Provoke him that he may, for even out of this will I cause these of Cyprus to mutiny, whose qualification shall come into no true taste again, but by the displanting of Cassio. So shall you have a shorter journey to your desires.
I will do this if it can bring any opportunity.
I want you. Meet me by and by the city. I must fetch his necessary sure.
Adieu.
Farewell. That Cassio loves her, I do well believe it. That she loves him, it is apt and of great credit. The more, howbeit that I endure him not. We have a constant, free, and open nature, and I dare say have improved to Desdemona, a most loving husband. I do suspect that lusty Moor hath leaped into my seat, the thought whereof doth like a poisonous mineral gnaw my innards, and nothing can or will content my soul till I am evened with him, wife for wife. Or failing that, yet that I put the Moor at least into a state of jealousy, the judgment cannot cure. Which thing to do? If this poor trash of Venice, whom I trash for his quick hunting, stand the putting on, I'll have our Michael Cassio on the hip, abuse him to the Moor in the rank garb, for I fear Cassio with my nightcap too. Make the Moor love me, thank me, and reward me for making him egregiously an ass, and practicing upon his peace and quiet, even to madness. 'Tis here, but yet confused. Knavery's plain face is never seen till used.
It is my pleasure that, upon certain tidings now arrived, importing the mere position of the Turkish fleet, that every man put himself into triumph! Hooray! Some to dance, some to make bonfires, whichever sport with all revels each man's addiction leads him to. For, besides these beneficial news, it is the celebration of our nuptials. Therefore, all offices are open, and there is full liberty of feasting from this hour till the bell have tolled 11.
Heavens bless the Isle of Cyprus and our noble General Othello.
Good Michael, look you to the watch tonight. Let us teach ourselves that the honourable stop not to outsport discretion.
Iago hath direction what to do, but notwithstanding, with my personal eye will I look to him.
Iago is most honest. Good night, Michael. In the morning, at your earliest, let me have speech with you. Come, Desdemona. The purchase being made, the fruits are to ensue. That profit is yet to be made between me.
Welcome, Iago. We must to the watch.
Ah, not this hour, Lieutenant. 'Tis not yet 10 o'clock, and our general cast us thus early for the love of his Desdemona, whom let us not therefore blame. He hath not yet made wanton the night with her, and she is sport for Jove.
She is a most exquisite lady.
And I'll warrant her full of game.
She is a fresh and delicate creature.
What an eye she has. Methinks it sounds a parley of provocation.
An inviting eye, and yet methinks right honest.
And when she speaks, is it not an alarum to love?
She is indeed perfection.
Well, happiness to their sheets. Come, Lieutenant, I have a stoup of wine, and here without a brace of Cyprus gallants who would fain drink a measure to the health of Black Othello.
Not tonight, good Iago. I have very poor and unhappy brains for drinking. I do wish courtesy would invent some other custom of entertainment.
But they are our friends. But 1 cup. I'll drink for you.
I have drunk 1 cup tonight already, and that was craftily qualified too. And behold, what innovation it makes here. I'm unfortunate in the infirmity. Dare not task my weakness with any more.
What, man? 'Tis a night of revels. Come, the gallants desire it.
Where are they?
Here at the door. I pray you show them in.
I'll do it. But it dislikes them.
If I can fasten but 1 cup upon him, with that which he hath drunk tonight already, he'll be as full of quarrel and offence as my young mistress's dog. If consequence do but approve my dream, my boat sails freely, both wind and stream.
What's that you say, Iago? Is your Englishman really so expert in his drinking?
Why, he drinks you with facility, your dame dead drunk. He sweats not to o'erthrow your Alamein, he gives your Hollander a vomit, ere the next pottle can be filled.
No! For shame! Well, I hold him unworthy of his place, those that do those things. Well, gods above all, and there be souls must be saved, and there be souls must not be saved.
Aye, 'tis true, good lieutenant.
For mine own part, no offence to the general, or any man of quality, I hope to be saved.
So do I too, lieutenant.
Aye, but not before me. The lieutenant is saved before the ancient, huh? Well, let's do our business. Forgive us our sins.
Yeah.
You must not think that I'm drunk. This is my ancient. This is my right hand. This is my left hand. No. You must not think that I'm drunk. I can stand well enough. I can speak well enough. Well then, you must not think that I'm drunk.
Come, let's set the watch.
Good Montano. See this fellow that has gone before? He's a fellow soldier fit to stand by Caesar and give direction. And yet, do but see his vice. I fear the trust Othello puts in him.
But is he often thus?
'Tis evermore the prologue to his sleep.
It were well the general would put in mind of it. Perhaps he sees it not, or his good nature prizes the virtues that appear in Cassio and looks not upon his evils. Is this not true? And 'tis a great pity that the noble Moor should hazard such a place as his own second with one of such an ingraft infirmity. It were an honest action to say so to the Moor.
Aye, but not I for this fair island. I do love Cassio well, and would do much to cure him of this evil.
Help! Help!
Hark, what noise?
You rascal!
What's the matter?
A knave teach me my duty? I'll beat the knave into a twigging bottle.
Baby!
Dost thou afraid, rogue?
Hey, good lieutenant, hold your hand.
Let me go, sir. I'll knock you other mazard.
Come, sir, you are drunk.
Drunk!
Gentlemen, here's a goodly watch indeed. Hold for shame.
How now, whence ariseth this? I turn Turks? He that stands next to carve in his own rage holds his soul light. He dies upon his motion. What's the matter, masters? Honest Iago, who began it?
I do not know, sir. I cannot speak any beginning to this peevish odds, and would in action glorious had I lost those legs that brought me to a part of it.
What's the matter, Michael? Are we thus forgot?
I pray you pardon me. I cannot speak.
Worthy Montano, you are one to be civil. What's the matter that you unleash your rich reputation thus to spend your name as a night brawler? Give me answer to it.
Worthy Othello, I am hurt to danger. Your officer Iago can inform you.
Give me to know how this unruly rout began. Who began it? And he that is approved in this offence, though he be twinned with me, both at birth, shall lose me. Iago, who set it on?
If partially to find a lead in office, thou dost deliver more or less than truth. Thou art no soldier.
Touch me not so near. I'd rather have his tongue cut from my mouth than it should do offence to Michael Cassio. And yet, I persuade myself to speak. The truth shall nothing wrong him. Thus it is, General. Montano and myself being in speech, there comes a fellow crying out for help, and Cassio following him with determined sword to execute upon him. Sir, this fellow steps into Cassio and entreats his pause. I, the crying fellow, did pursue, but he, swift of foot, outran my purpose. And I returned the rather that I heard the clink and fall of swords, and Cassio, high in oath, as yet till tonight I might ne'er say before. When I came back and found them close together, by blow and thrust, it was brief, but more of this matter cannot I report. But men are men, the best sometimes forget.
Iago, I know thy love and honesty does mince this matter, making it light for Cassio. Cassio, I do love thee, but never more be officer of mine. Sir, for your hurt, myself will be your surgeon. Lead him off. Iago, look you with care about the town, and silence those who this vile brawl distracted.
Are you hurt, Lieutenant?
Aye. Past all surgery.
Mary, heaven forbid!
Reputation, reputation, reputation. Oh, I've lost my reputation. I've lost the immortal part of myself. What remains is bestial. My reputation, Iago, my reputation.
As I am an honest man, I thought you would receive some bodily wound. There is more sense in that than in reputation. Reputation is the most false and idle imposition. Of got without merit and lost without deserving, you have lost no reputation at all. Unless you repute yourself such a loser. What, man? There are ways to recover the general again. You are but now cast in his mood, a punishment more in policy than in malice. Sue to him again, and he's yours.
I would rather soon to be despised than to deceive so good a commander with so slight, so drunk, so indiscreet an officer. Drunk! And speak parrot, and squabble, swagger, and swear, and discourse fustian with one's own shadow. Oh, thou invisible spirit of wine. If thou hast no name to be known by, let us call thee devil.
What was he that you followed with your sword? What had he done to you?
I know not.
Is possible?
I remember a mass of things, but nothing distinctly, a quarrel, but nothing wherefore. God, that men should put an enemy in their mouths to steal away their brains, that we should, with joy, revel, pleasance, and applause, transform ourselves into beasts.
But you are now well enough. How came you thus recovered?
It has pleased the devil drunkenness to give place to the devil wrath. One imperfectness shows me another, and makes me frankly despise myself.
Oh, you are too severe a moraler. I had heartily wished this had not befallen, but since it is as it is, mend it for your own good.
I will ask him for my place again. He will tell me I am a drunkard. Had I as many mouths as Hydra, such an answer would stop them all. To be now a sensible man, by and by a fool, and presently a beast. Every inordinate cup is unblessed, and the ingredient is devil.
Good wine is a good familiar creature, if it be well used. I think I love you.
I have it well approved, sir.
Drunk! You or any man living may be drunk at a time, man. I shall tell you what you shall do. Our general's wife is now the general. Confess yourself freely to her. Importune her to help put you back in your place again. She is so free, so kind, so blessed a disposition. She holds it a vice in her nature not to do more than she is requested. This broken joint between you and her husband, entreat her to splinter. And my fortunes against any lay worth naming, this crack of your love will grow stronger than it was before.
You advise me well.
I protest, in the sincerity of love and honest kindness.
Why, think it freely. And betimes, will in the morning beseech the virtuous Desdemona to undertake for me. I am desperate in my fortunes if they check me here.
You are in the right. Good night, Lieutenant. I must to the watch.
Good night. Honesty I.
What's he then that says I play the villain? When this advice is free I give, and honest, probable to thinking and indeed the course to win them o'er again. For 'tis most easy the inclining Desdemona to subdue in any honest suit. How am I then a villain? To counsel Cassio to this parallel course directly to his good. Oh, divinity of hell. When devils will the blackest sins put on, they do suggest it first with heavenly shows, as I do now. For whilst this honest fool plies Desdemona to repair his fortunes, and she to the more pleads directly for him, I'll pour this pestilence into his ear, that she does repeal him for her body's lust, and so will I turn her virtue into pitch, and out of her own goodness make the net that shall enmesh them all. How now, Roderigo?
I do follow here in the chase, not like a hound that hunts, but one that fills up the cry. My money is almost spent, and I have this night been exceedingly well cudgeled, and I think the issue will be I will have a little experience of my pains, and so, with no money and a little more wit, shall return again to Venice.
How poor are they that have not patience? What wound did ever heal but by degrees? Thou knowest we work by wit, and not by witchcraft. And wit depends on dilatory time. Does not go well? Cassio hath beaten thee, and thou by that small hurt hast cashiered Cassio. Content thyself a while. By the mass, 'tis morning. Pleasure and action make the hours seem short. Retire thee. Go where thou art billeted. We shall have more hereafter. Nay, get thee gone? Two things are to be done. First, my wife must move to her mistress for Cassio. I'll set her on. Myself, the while, to draw the Moor out of the way and bring him jump when he may find Cassio soliciting his wife. Aye, that's the way. Dull not device by coldness and delay. You have not been abed then?
The day had broke before we parted. I have made bold, Iago, to send in to your wife. My suit to her is that she may, to the divine Desdemona, procure me some access.
I'll send it to you presently, and I shall find some means to draw them all out of the way, such that your converse and business may be more free.
Very much bounty. Never known a Florentine more honest.
Good morning, Lieutenant. I am sorry for your displeasure, but all will sure be well. The General and his wife are talking of it, and she speaks for you stoutly. The Moor replies that he you heard is of great fame in Cyprus and great affinity, and that he cannot but in wholesome wisdom refuse you. But he protests he loves you, and needs no other suit but his likings to take the safest occasion by the front to bring you in again.
Yet I beseech you, lady, if you think apt and it may be done, give me some advantage of some brief discourse with Desdemona alone.
Pray you come in. My husband has delayed our general. He casts full eye on the fortifications. I will bestow you, where you shall have time to speak your bosom freely. Madam.
Be thou assured, good Cassio, I will do all my abilities in thy behalf.
Oh, good madam, do. I warrant you, it grieves my husband as though the case were his.
Oh, that's an honest fellow. Do not doubt, Cassio. I will have my lord and you again as friendly as you were. You do love my lord. You have known him long. And be you assured, he shall in strangeness stand no further off than in a politic distance.
Aye, but lady, that policy may last too long. I, being absent and my place supplied, the General will forget my love and service.
Do not doubt that, Cassio. Before Amelia here, I give you warrant of your place. Be assured, if I do vow friendship, I will perform it to the last article. My lord shall never rest. I'll watch him tame and talk him out of patience. His bed shall seem a school, his board a shrift. I'll intermingle everything he does with Cassio's suit. Therefore be merry, Cassio. For thy solicitor should rather die than give thy cause away.
Oh, look where he comes.
Madam, I'll take my leave.
Ah, I like not that.
Oh, why stay and hear me speak?
What does thou say, Iago?
Nothing, my lord.
I dare not. I'm most ill at ease, unfit for my own places.
Well, to your discretion.
Was that not Cassio parted from my wife?
Cassio, my lord? No, sure. I cannot think that he would steal away so guilty like.
I do think it will see.
How now, my lord? I have been talking with a suitor here, a man that languishes in your displeasure.
Do the tell me.
Why, your Lieutenant Cassio. Good my lord, if I have any grace or power to move you, his present reconciliation take. Or if he be not one that truly loves you, and as in ignorance, not in cunning, I have no judgment in an honest face. I prithee call him back.
When he hence now,
Aye, sooth. So humbled, he hath left part of his grief with me, to suffer with him. But I'll call him back.
not now, my sweet Desdemona, some other time.
Shall it be soon?
The sooner, sweet, for you.
Shall it be tonight?
No, not tonight.
Tomorrow dinner then?
I dine with the captains of the citadel.
Why then, tomorrow night? Tuesday morn? Tuesday noon? Night? Wednesday morn? I prithee name a time, but let it not exceed 3 days. When shall he come? Tell me, Othello. I wonder in my soul what you should ask me that I should deny or stand so mammering on. What? Michael Cassio came a wooing with you, and so oft, when I have spoken of you dispraisingly, have taken your part. To have to do so much to bring him in. I could do much.
I pray thee no more. Let him come when he will. I will deny thee nothing.
Why, this is not a boon. Nay. When I have a suit wherein I mean to touch your love indeed, it shall be full of poise and difficult weight and fearful to be granted.
I will deny thee nothing. Wherein I do beseech thee to leave me but a little to myself.
Shall I deny you? No. Farewell, my lord.
Farewell, little man.
Come, Emilia. Be as your fancies teach you. For whate'er you be, I am obedient.
Excellent wench tradition, catch my soul. But I will love thee! And when I love thee not, chaos is come again.
My noble lord,
What does thou say, Iago?
did Michael Cassio, when you wooed my lady, know of your love?
He did, from first to last. What did thou ask?
But for a satisfaction of my thought, no further harm.
What have thy thought, Iago?
I did not think he had been acquainted with her.
Ah, yes, and went between us very often.
Indeed.
Indeed, indeed. Discerns thou aught in that? Is he not honest?
Honest, my lord?
Honest, honest.
My lord, for aught I know.
What dost thou think?
Think, my lord?
Think, my lord, by heavens he echoes me, as if thou hast some monster shut up in thy thoughts, too hideous to be shown. Thou dost mean something, as if thou hast shut up in thy brain some horrible conceit. If thou dost love me, show me thy thoughts.
My lord, you know I love you.
I think thou dost. And for I know thou art full of love and honesty, and weighest thou words before thou givest them breath. Therefore these stops of thine fright me the more, for such things in a false disloyal knave would be tricks of custom.
My lord, for Michael Cassio, I dare be sworn, I think that he is honest.
I think so too.
Men should be what they see, or else those that be not what they might see none.
Aye, men should be what they say.
Why then I think Cassio is an honest man.
Nay, there's more in this, I prithee. Speak to me as to thy thinkest, as thou dost ruminate, and let thy worst of thoughts be the worst of words.
My lord, though I am bound to every act of duty, I am not bound to that all slaves are free to. Utter my thoughts, I do beseech you. Though I perchance am vicious in my guess, good name, my lord, in man and woman, is the immediate jewel of their souls. He that steals my purse steals trash. 'Tis something, nothing. 'Twas mine, 'tis his, and has been slain to thousands. But he that filches from me my good name, robs me of that which not enriches him, and makes me poor indeed.
By heaven, I will know thy thoughts.
Not if my heart were in your hands, nor shall not whilst 'tis in my custody. Beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster which doth mock the meat it feeds on.
Why is this? Thinkest thou I'll make lie of jealousy to follow still the changes of the moon, refresh suspicion? No, we are. To be once in doubt is to be once to be resolved. 'Tis not to make me jealous to say my wife is fair, feeds well, loves company, sings, dances, and plays well. She had eyes and chose me. No, we are. I will see before I doubt. When I doubt, prove. And upon this proof there is no more but this. Away at once with love or jealousy.
I am glad to hear it, for now I shall have greater reason to show you the love and duty I bear you with franker spirit. Therefore, as I am bound, receive it from me. I speak not yet of proof. Look to your wife. Observe her well with Cassio. Were your eye thus, not jealous nor secure, I would not have your free and noble nature out of self-bounty be abused. Look to it. I know our country disposition well. In Venice they do let heaven see the pranks they dare not show their husbands. Their best conscience is not to leave it undone, but to keep it unknown.
Dost thou say so?
She did deceive her father, marrying you. And when she seemed to shake and fear your looks, she loved them most.
So she did.
Why go to them? She that one so young could give out such a seeming to seal her father's eyes up close as oak. But I am much to blame. I humbly do beseech your pardon for too much loving you.
I am bound to thee forever.
I see this hath a little dashed your spirits.
No job. No job.
I do hope you know what I speak comes from my love. But I do see you're moved.
I am not.
Should you be so, my lord, my thoughts, my speech should fall into such vile success as my thoughts aim not at. Michael Cassio is my worthy friend. My lord, I see you're moved.
No, not much moved. I do not think but Desdemona is honest.
Long live she so, and long live you to think so.
Farewell, Iago. If thou dost perceive, let me know more. Send thy wife on it. Send her to observe. Leave me, Iago.
My lord, I take my leave.
Why did I marry? This honest creature sees and knows more, much more than he unfolds.
My lord, I might entreat your honour to scan this thing no further. Leave it at it. Although it be fit that Michael Cassio have his place for sure, he fills it up with great ability. Yet if you please to hold him off a while, you shall by that perceive him and his means. Note, if your lady strain his entertainment with any strong or vehement importunity, much will be seen in it. In the meantime, let me be thought too busy in my fears, as worthy cause I have to fear I am. And hold her free. I do beseech your honor.
Fear not my government.
My lord, I once more take my leave.
This fellow is of exceeding honesty and knows all qualities of human dealings. I am black and have not the soft parts of conversation that chambers have. I am abused, and my relief must be to loathe her. O curse of marriage, that we may call these delicate creatures ours and not their appetites. Here she comes. Oh, if she be false, then heaven doth mock itself, I'll not believe it.
My lord, the dinner and the generous islanders by you invited to attend your presence.
I am to blame.
Why speak you so faintly? Are you not well?
I have a pain on my forehead here.
Faith, that's with the watching. Let me but bind it hard. Within the hour, all will be well.
Your napkin is too little. Come, I'll go with you.
I'm very sorry you are not well.
I'm glad I found this handkerchief. It was her first remembrance from the moor. My wayward husband have 100 times wooed me to steal it, but she so loves the token. For he conjured her that she should ever keep it, that she reserves it evermore about her to kiss and to talk to. I'll have the work, turn in you and give it to Iago. What he will do with it, heaven knows. But I'm nothing but to please his fantasy.
How now? What do you here alone?
Do not you chide? I have a thing for you.
A thing for me? It is a common thing to have a foolish wife.
What will you give me then for that same handkerchief?
What handkerchief?
What handkerchief? That which the Moor first gave to Desdemona. That which so often you did bid me steal.
Hast stolen it from her.
No, Faith! Well, she let it drop by negligence and to the advantage by being here to pick it up. Look, here it is.
Good wench, give it me.
What wilt thou do with it that thou hast been so earnest to have me filch it?
What's that to you?
If it be not for some purpose, Wimple, give it me again. Poor lady, she will run mad when she shall lack it. Ah!
Be not acknowledged. I have use for it. Go. Leave me. I will in Cassio's lodging lose this handkerchief and let him find it. This may do something. The moor already changes with my poisons. Dangerous conceits are, in their natures, poisons. So, here he comes. My lord, how now?
Avaunt, be gone, thou hast set me on the rack. I swear, 'tis better to be much abused than to know but a little. What said did I of a stolen hours of lust? I saw it not, thought it not, it harmed not me. I slept the next night while was free and merry. I found not Cassio's kisses on her lips. I had been happy if the general camp, pioneers and all, had tasted her sweet body, so I had nothing known. Oh, now, forever, farewell, content. Farewell, the tranquil mind. Farewell, Othello's occupation gone.
Is possible, my lord?
Villain! Be sure to prove my love a whore. Be sure of it. Give me the ocular proof, or by the worth of man's eternal soul, thou hadst better have been born a dog than answer my waking wrath. Make me see it, or at least so prove it, that the probation bear no hinge, nor loop to hang a doubt on, or woe upon my life. If thou dost slander her and torture me, never pray more.
Oh, grace. Oh, heaven forgive me. Are you a man? Have you a soul or sense? God be with you. I am done. Take mine office. Take note, O world. To be honest in this life is not safe.
Nay, thou shouldst be honest.
No, I should be wise. For honesty's a fool, and loses that it works for.
By the warrant, I think my wife be honest, and think she not. I think thou art just, and think thou art not. I'll have some proof. Her name, which was as fresh as Diane's visage, is now as black and begrimed as mine own face. Would I was satisfied.
I see, sir, you are eaten up with passion. I do repent that I put it to you. You would be satisfied? Would?
Nay, will.
And may, my lord. But how? How satisfied? Would you, the supervisor, grossly gape on, behold her topped? Oh, it were a tedious difficulty, I think, to bring them to that prospect. It is impossible you should see this. Were they as prime as goats, as hot as monkeys? But if imputation and strong circumstance, which lead directly to the door of truth, will give you satisfaction, you may have it.
Give me a living reason she's disloyal.
I do not like the office, but if I am entered into this cause thus far, pricked to it by foolish love and honesty, I will go on. My lord, I lay with Cassio lately, and being troubled with a raging tooth, I could not sleep. My lord, there is a kind of man in this world, so loose of soul, that in his sleeps will mutter his affairs. One such is Cassio. And in his sleeps did I hear him say, "Oh, sweet Desdemona, let us hide our loves." And then he kissed and cried, "Oh, cursed fate that gave thee to the Moor!" Nay, this was but his dream, my lord.
But it denoted a foregone conclusion. 'Tis a shrewd doubt, though it be but a dream.
And it may help to thicken other proofs that demonstrate thinly.
Chop her all to pieces.
May yet be content, my lord. We see yet nothing done. She may be honest yet. Tell me, my lord, have you not sometimes seen in your wife's hand a handkerchief spotted with strawberries?
I gave her such a one, was my first gift.
I know not that, but such a handkerchief as this, I am sure it was your wife's. Did I today see Cassio wipe his beard with?
If it be that.
If it be that, or any that was hers, it speaks against her with the other proofs.
Oh, that the slave had 40,000 lives. One is too poor to weep for my revenge. Now I will see 'tis true. Look here, Iago. All my fond love, thus do I blow to heaven, 'tis gone. Arise, black vengeance from thy hollow cell. Yield up, O love, thy crown and hearted throne to tyrannous hate.
May yet be content, my lord.
Oh, blood!
Your mind perhaps may change.
Never, Iago. Like the Pontic Sea, whose icy currents and compulsive course ne'er fills retiring air, even so my bloody thoughts with violent pace shall ne'er look back, till that a wide and capable revenge doth swallow them up. Now, in due reverence of a sacred vow, I here engage my words.
Witness, you ever-burning lights above, you elements that clip us round about. Witness here that Iago doth give up the execution of his wit, hands, heart, to wronged Othello's service. Let him command.
I greet thy love, not with vain thanks, but with acceptance bounteous, and will upon the instant put thee to it. Within these 3 days let me hear thee say that Cassio is not alive.
My friend is dead. 'Tis done so at your request. But let her live.
Damn her. Luke means damn her. Come, go with me while I retire to furnish me with some swift means of death for that fair devil. Thou art now my lieutenant.
I am your own, forever.